Hey everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood ink slinger, always up to no good, writing no good as well. I'm hopefully everyone had a great week. I'm super excited to touch base every week. It's like Tuesday is probably the one day I look most forward to, which is kind of lame, right? Because I'm talking to nobody. I'm sitting in front of a old phone that I've had for 4 years. Anyways, I digress. No, but it's been a great week, and I'm on chapter 8, and I'm on a strong chapter 8. I'm almost done. Also, I wanted to share with you guys this week the beginning pages. Like, well, how did you start writing? Right? What did that look like? And it doesn't look pretty. Let me just tell you. So, all right. So yeah, just a real quick recap of the last few weeks. Chapter 7 took like 3 weeks, I think, maybe longer. I don't have the exact amount of days or weeks, but I know I said it like 2 or 3 times on the podcast. And like I said, I was just trying to figure out how to get it to roll. Once I got to chapter 8, chapter 8's been rolling. I want to say I feel like I'm three quarters of the way done. And even if I'm not, the progress has been so good that I'm like, well, let's just keep going, and if this turns out to be a longer chapter than I expected, whatever, but let's just get it out there, right? Because after chapter 8, 9, and then, five more, 4 more, 3, 2, 1, right? The countdown goes. So that's been the progress. Oh, also, I almost forgot. See, and this is why you write stuff down, people. Let's write it all down. No, not all, but the important stuff. On Wednesday, because we had such a busy day Tuesday, and Wednesday itself was going to be a busy day, I actually slept in, right? And for me, sleeping in is waking up like at 6 a.m. That's the boy. George gets up late, 6 a.m. That's what an embarrassment. Anyways, no, I woke up because I knew I'm like it's too much, and I won't be able to give my best to anyone or anything. And that's unacceptable, right? If you're going to do something, go all out. All right, so I don't want to share this with you guys, but the podcast is titled In the Beginning, and you're probably wondering, well, what did that look like? So in the beginning, this was what I had, right? So I bought this magnificent piece of equipment for all of $1.19 at your friendly Jewel Osco. If you're from the Midwest, you know Jewel Osco. Anyways, this has been an infomercial that's unpaid, folks, and unwarranted as well. Okay, so I wrote I wrote the date. This is I know there's no year here. This is, you probably can't see it, but it says April 15th, right? 4/15. I wrote, I want to say, for 2 months, and I would invest about 15 to 20 minutes every morning, first thing in the morning, in my closet. It was part of my quiet time, and I would just write out whatever. And I wrote out just whatever. I wasn't trying to write in order. I was just trying, hey, what's in my head today, right? What voices am I hearing today? Oh boy. Yes, and if you're wondering, I was also wearing my jacket with the one sleeve that goes. Yeah. Anyways, so I wrote a lot of stuff. I took a lot of notes. There are some that are earmarked, right? If you notice, if you'll see with me. So the ones that are earmarked, it just means that I most likely use those pages. But if you were to look at all the pages with me, the majority of them aren't earmarked because, and I hate to be so honest. I know you're looking at it and you're like, well, George, you're always talking about pencils, pencil number 2, but that's ink. Yes, but the quality of this ink is number 2, right? So when you're gonna go to the potty, you're gonna think of this original writing, and that's okay, right? There's no such thing as good writing. There's only good rewriting and good editing. All right. So what I wanted to do, I want to read to you 2 pages of now. These pages obviously did not, if you notice, they're not earmarked. They didn't make it into the book. One of them, the scenario makes it into the book, but it plays out so differently, and I'm so grateful because if it plays out like this, I would have been like, this is weird. No one should read this. Why did you write? So, all right. So let me start with page number 1. And again, they're not in order. I just picked them because they were probably the 2 worst things that I have written in my entire life. And I was like, hey, look, if I can share this, and you're like, wow, this guy's putting himself out there and he's still writing, maybe I got 38 books in me and I'll sell something. So, and again, it's not even about selling. It's just go out there and write it, right? Or do it, or whatever it is that you're into. All right, let's begin. The Special Harmonization Unit was created a couple of weeks after the shutdown in 2020, mid-April. 2 councilmen were discussing how vulnerable the world was to attacks being carried out in the internet. The war was no longer for physical territory now. It was a war to rob people of their identities as well as their finances. It was discovered that many of the cryptocurrencies were fronts for organizations and mafias to launder money. The internet is now the wild, wild west, and many more vying for the chance to control only so they could achieve their means, regardless of all the collateral damage that may cause. You can do more damage by simply clicking on your mouse than you can by pulling a trigger. So I was like, yeah, lame. Okay. And then this one. So this is the one I was telling you that this is a scenario that plays out. So this is the scenario when the Shepherd King is called in, and he's not hired, right? Because it's federal government. He's contracted, right? He's assigned a mission, right? Here we go. The Shepherd King was called into an office where he was informed of his selection as the leader of the newly created Special Harmonization Unit. It was not given the name yet, but he was made commander, and his first mission was to assemble a team that would help him accomplish every mission thrown their way. The meeting took place with 2 councilmen. Councilman number 1. So you are the Shepherd King. Shepherd King. I am the bearer of my daddy's name. Councilman number 2. Tell us, what makes you think you're the man for the job? Shepherd King. The fact that you called me in tells me you did your homework. That, and how appropriate is it that you want to send a zealot to the slaughterhouse? Yeah, that's really bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize that I had put you all through these 2 pages. You will never get those 60 seconds back, and I can't pay you, so I apologize. All right. But yeah, no, that's just to let you guys know that there's a reason why it's called a rough draft. It's rough. Right? It's not nice. No one should ever have to hear any writing like that again, right? Whatever you're creating, whatever you're writing, whatever you're working on, do it at home and do it till you get really good, and then you can present it to the people. But don't bring that, right? This is just me trying to inspire someone out there, you, and you over there too in the back. Don't be pretending you're watching something else. And then with that, so I was like, well, then what would be the best send-off for this episode, right? Talking about something that's number 2, that's rough, that shouldn't be ever listened to or played out again or read by anyone, regardless of how wicked they may be. All right, fine. Maybe if you're extremely wicked, you should read that first draft. That's what you deserve. That's your punishment for all eternity. No, I don't wish that on anyone. But I was like, well, let's end it with something sweet, right? Something. And if you're from Chicago, there's no one that has the nickname Sweetness besides number 34, Walter Payton. And I found a quote from him, and it reads, when you're good at something, you'll tell everyone. When you're great at something, they'll tell you. So keep doing what you're doing till somebody tells you. That's amazing. All right. With you as always, George Paredes, rightfully yours. This has been Right on Time Podcast. Love you guys. Be good. Bye.